And there are two different ways of using agents in Axel. And to demonstrate these, I've built a very simple lazy agent that just refuses to help no matter what we ask it to do. And the first option is that we can set the agent that controls the chat. And there's always an agent that controls the chat. Usually you will use the default agent, which is the one that we have prepared and has all the information set up already. However, now I swapped this to the lazy agent. And now I also prepared a task where I'm asking it to search the web for lazy news of Sweden. And here we can see the lazy agent is controlling the chat as it's deciding what to do and what to respond. And the second way is to connect a chat to the agent. So now we're asking it to call upon the lazy agent to perform the task instead of it actually controlling the chat and doing it itself. And to compare the two options now, we're in the first one here, we can see that it just responded, "Sorry bro, I'm not in the mood." In the second one, instead it was the default agent that controlled the chat and decided what to respond, and then we can see that it called upon the lazy agent. We could also see what it requested and what the lazy agent responded with. There are two tabs in the agent shape. There's the edit and there's the run. And the edit tab is where we set up the agent to do what we want. And first up here, we have the instructions, and this decides how your agent should respond and what it can and should do. And this example shows the lazy agent, where I strictly gave it instructions that the only thing it should do is to respond with, "Sorry bro, I'm not in the mood." Now the agent doesn't need complicated instructions to function. In this example, I'm just making a very simple agent that generates dull grayscale images. And I will update the name for this agent as well. And these are the typical tools that you would see with a LLM or ChatGPT-like app. And the rest of the actions here, they are automatically added based on a connection. So if you would connect a shape that matches any of these categories, then that action would activate as well. And next up, we have the external actions. And these are actions and tools that your agent can call upon to interact with external services. Next up, we have knowledge bases. Now, I'm just going to add a Axel information knowledge base. And now, anytime this agent is used or called upon, the message will also include information fetched from the Axel information knowledge base. When we use knowledge as context for the agent, then it's going to be reliable, always included, instant, but the agent cannot search again, and it will also be included even if it's irrelevant. And then, of course, on the other side, the complete opposite, where when the knowledge base is connected to the chat, the agent will not search if it's not related to the task. And the agent can search any number amount of times and even multiple topics. But it's then, of course, not as reliable as you have to rely on the prompt, and the agent might forget or skip. So you can pause here if you'd like to read more, and I will move on. And then we have the creativity, or what's more commonly known as temperature. And this just determines how deterministic versus creative. And in general, 7 works for any use case. And finally, we have the model, and this just determines what AI model the agent should use, and you have the same options that you typically would use in the chat. We'll choose Grok for now. And if we call upon the agent with a connection now, as we showed previously, then it's going to use the model that we chose. However, if you're instead using the agent to control the chat model is going to override the agent model. But when we choose the agent, then it will swap to the model that the agent has selected by default. And then, of course, we also have the Run tab. And first up here, we can just change the icon if we'd like. For now, I just removed the one we had. And next up, we have the Start Chat button. And here you could do either a quick start for agent controlling the chat or agent connected to the chat. The agent controlling the chat would be the equivalent as if we would just create a new chat ourselves and then choose the grayscale image generator in this case. And the agent connected to the chat would be the equivalent as if we would just create a new chat and then start with a connection to the shape. Right. Now, tasks are a quick way to start specific tasks for an agent. So I'm going to create a new task here. It's essentially a saved prompt, and in this case, it's just a "please generate an image of a king" message. Now, if I create a task, then it shows up in the task list here. And then I have the two options of send task, which starts a new chat with the task as the first message. And if I would do send task with input, it's the same thing, but we get a prompt window in case we would want to make any changes. So here I will now change it to queen, and then it's just the same thing where it selects the agent for the chat and then sends the message.